This tutorial is to show you how to divide the hair into plugs for rerooting. I strongly recommend this method for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's going to reduce the risk of thick plugs that could possibly split the scalp. And number 2, it will maximize the hair, preventing waste so that your hair will last longer. Now, before we get started, we need 2 additional things. A spray bottle full of water and an uneven surface. I'm going to be using a paper plate because I'm classy like that. On a smooth, clean surface like a table, carefully remove the hank of hair from the bag. I have Silock that I'm going to be using. Whoa, look at all that static. So, some hair is more staticky than others. Why? I have no idea. There's an easy fix though. This is just a fabric softener sheet. And so, just gonna run it down the hair. And then switch to the next side. A little bit more over here. All better. Okay. Make sure to maintain a good grip on the hair. Okay, we're going to carefully remove the fuzzy tie, but don't throw it away because the fuzzy tie is your friend. I personally prefer to work with a small amount of hair when sectioning my plugs. So I'm just going to use my thumb and while firmly holding the hank, use these 2 fingers to take a small amount to separate it. I'm going to firmly hold both pieces and pull it apart. Okay, the small section that I'm going to be using, I'm going to put right there. And the hair that I'm not using at the moment, I'm going to put back in the fuzzy tie. Derp, okay, having issues. Okay, yeah. And just set it aside for the moment. Now, with this section of the hair that we're using, you want to get it nice and damp. I'm just going to hold this up so that I don't get the table wet. Okay. With the hair damp, it's going to section neater and cleaner, and you're not going to have as many flyaways or the waste. Now, use your nail. I don't even have much of a nail, so it doesn't require much. Use your nail to separate into a thin, a very, very nice, thin plug. I'm actually going to even make this a little thinner. Did I mention that you should do your plugs thin? You're probably thinking that looks crazy thin, but trust me, less is more. This is serious. Like, having thin plugs is, I cannot stress it enough. It's gonna make a huge difference with your reroot. And if you are working and your plugs are too thin, you can always go back and add more hair. That's easier than having to pull all the hair out and start over. So I'm going to take my plug and I'm going to lay it on an uneven surface, like my handy dandy plate here. and I'm going to lay it down like this in a U shape. I prefer to lay my hair like this in a U shape because it's easier to pick up, because then I can just go for the center. By grabbing it with my nail. So for me, I do usually about 8 to 10 of these at a time. And you're gonna, as you reroot, you'll pick one up and work with it. If you have a lot of time to reroot and maybe a large surface, then you could set out a whole bunch. I personally just like to use a few at a time so that I don't create a huge surface. Clean and thin plugs are your formula for successful reroot. Now let's do a project. Thanks for watching and see you soon.
All things get worse. I can do one thing on my own. I have nothing on my mind.